Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's DLloyd, and we are here talking about Jimmy Butler once again. Hopefully, we are almost done with this drama-filled saga, as Jimmy Butler came out last night and said if he is not traded and his wrist is healthy, he will not hold out, which means he will be available to play day one. He will return to practice. He will play in the games if he is not traded before the start of the regular season. That is exactly what head coach Tom Thibodeau wants. He doesn't want to trade Jimmy Butler. If he could have it his way, Jimmy Butler will be in the locker room today, practicing, getting ready to play if he has it the way that he wants. But we do know last night there was some more trade talks between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Miami Heat. And the Miami Heat, they were pushing the Timberwolves to try to get a deal done as quickly as possible because they are even tired of talking to Minnesota every single day trying to get a deal done. So they sent in a revised offer. The Timberwolves thought about it. Miami asked them to make a decision by the end of the day. Minnesota did not accept the offer. But Minnesota made a counter offer to the Miami Heat. And this is what we're hearing right now, that what the Timberwolves are asking for to trade away Jimmy Butler. The Timberwolves would like Bam Adebayo, Josh Richardson, and a 2019 first-round draft pick for Jimmy Butler. But there is a catch. They will also like to offload Gorgui Dieng's contract to the Miami Heat or get a third team involved to try to get rid of Gorgui Dieng's contract. That is still a lot for me. It makes sense if you could possibly get a third team to come in. I don't see any reason why the Miami Heat should take on that contract when you're already giving up Bam Adebayo and, of course, Josh Richardson, who I think has a pretty bright future ahead of him. And you look at Dieng's contract, he's only in the second year of his 4-year, $62 million contract, which means he's slated to get $15 million this year, $16 million next year, and then $17 million the year after that in 2020, 2021. I would not take that deal if I'm the Miami Heat, especially when you're giving up a first-round pick, Bam, and Josh Richardson. I think that's a lot for Jimmy Butler, who's in the tail end of his prime. He could probably still give you some solid years. And on top of that, you don't know if Jimmy Butler is truly going to sign at the end of the year. He says there's a team on his destination, but we know there's a good possibility this Miami Heat team could look completely different next season. Dwayne Wade no longer going to be there because he's going to retire. You don't know what the Heat are planning on doing with Hassan Whiteside, who has looked very, very good in the first two preseason games. We don't know if they're going to hold on to him long term or if they're going to capitalize on the opportunity of him looking good and try to move him before the trade deadline. A lot of other guys who pop up in trade talks. Josh Richardson comes up a lot in trade talks. You don't know how long he will be a member of the Miami Heat. Justice Winslow appears that he comes up at times, not from the Miami Heat's end, but other teams asking for him. So you don't know exactly what the team's going to look like. So you don't know Jimmy Butler is going to want to come back to Miami after this year or not. You don't know what his motivations are. You don't know if he's just trying to win a championship. You do not know. So it's a lot to give up to get a player like Jimmy Butler at this point. Now, I do think Butler does help improve Miami this season, even if you give up Bam and Josh Richardson. But just thinking long term, if you have to give up a 2019 first-round pick and you have to take on Gorgui Dieng's contract, which is going to hurt you for the next 3 seasons, I don't think it's worth it at this point, unless you get a third team to come in and they take on Gorgui Dieng's contract. I wouldn't accept this deal if I'm the Miami Heat, and that's the reason why I still think, as of right now, Jimmy Butler is still a member of the Timberwolves. The asking price is just simply too high, and it goes back to say Tibbs, at the end of the day, doesn't want to trade away Jimmy Butler, and he's asking for high prices, knowing that one of 2 things is going to happen. The team is going to simply reject, or you trade Jimmy Butler, and you get absolutely paid, and you get a lot back in return, and you can still contend, and you get rid of Gorgui Dieng's contract, which allows cap space, which allows you to be more creative in free agency, allows a lot of stuff to happen if you get that cap space back. So that's what we're hearing as of Thursday morning. That is the trade offer to the Miami Heat. I doubt they take the trade offer, but I think they will keep talking. I think Miami and Miami's fans are getting extremely frustrated with this situation. Minnesota's being a little childish when it comes to these trade negotiations, but I think ultimately it's between the Miami Heat now and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The only two teams talking, but Minnesota, they're hoping they could just simply bring in Jimmy Butler, bring him back into the locker room, and start him on day one. Now, you guys let me know how you guys feel about this in the comment section below. Do you think the latest trade offer of Bam Adebayo, Josh Richardson, and 2019 first-round pick, well, trade request, not offer, from the Timberwolves is something that the Miami Heat should actually consider? Would you do that if you had to take back Dame's contract? Or would you just simply hold tight and not make the move and hope that the value for Butler gets lower? Or just simply be all the way out of the Jimmy Butler talks? You guys let me know how you guys feel about that in the comment section below. It's your boy DLloyd. I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.